All right. Good evening, class. This night we are going to be discussing about service strategy, ITSM service strategy. We'll be looking at frameworks, principles, rules involved. But for a company to start developing their IT infrastructure and become professional about it, they need to come up with a strategy. They need to develop a strategy. And after the strategy, they're then going to design. So today, that is what we're going to be talking about, strategy. That is the key step. Most companies like, is a new system within the organization. And before, we don't understand IT as part of a business, but it's very obvious, it's very clear that without IT in this modern world, without IT, no business. And because there is no IT, no business, we need to understand the IT need of a company and design it the way it is going to suit the company. And if you are very good as an ITSM service manager, you can design any kind of IT strategy to suit any company. For instance, we have banking. The kind of strategy and solution we are going to use in the banking is different from the one we are going to use in the hospital. They are going to be different with the one we are going to use within an e-commerce business. It's different from the one we are going to use in transport business. It's different from the one we are going to use within government. It's different from the one we are going to use within education, like universities. All these businesses today, you can't run them without IT. So that is why you need to sit down and determine the company's IT need and design it. So let's look at our lesson notes, and after then we can then have questions. So, like I said, ITSM service strategy, the objective is to develop strategies that align with business objective and customer need, ensuring effective and efficient IT service delivery. Okay, key points here is business objective and customer need. What is the IT service within this environment? What is their need? What is the business objective? Is it within the banking? Once the banking they have different business objective. Education has different business objective from banking. If you are trying to develop a strategy for, let's say, National Assembly, is different. So it is within this strategy that we need to understand the objective, customer need, and ensuring that whichever IT service we are bringing, the strategy we are bringing, is the one that we align with this objective and the customer need. So we are going to be looking at some of these key elements or key environments while trying to design our IT service strategy. Number one is service portfolio management. What is service portfolio management? Service portfolio management is the process of managing the complete life cycle of all IT services, ensuring that they align with business priority and deliver value. They include the service pipeline. That means when you mean something is in pipeline, service pipeline is future services, service catalog, what you are offering at the moment. And we at times we talk about, because you can't have a future without having so many, you need to know where you are coming from. So that's where we talk about retired services for historic purposes. That is what we mean by service portfolio. Under service portfolio, we have service pipeline, planning new services to meet the market demand. We need to be proactive. We need to have roadmap. As a service manager, what you are going to do in the next 2 years, the kind of services your company is going to need in 2 years, you already have a roadmap. Like 2 years, so many companies, my company will have what we call 10 years roadmap. What we are planning within the 10 years. We keep on refining it till at times before we implement it, a lot of things might have changed, but it's good to always have a roadmap. That's what we call pipeline, service pipeline. Outside the service pipeline, there is services you are currently in need of to run the business effectively. That is what we call service catalog. You need to have a full catalog of all the services you need. You need to understand them, the current services you need, documenting current services available to stakeholders. Then retired services, discontinuing services, no longer adding value, services no longer in use. You cannot forget it. A company needs to have a full history of their service line, where they are coming from, where they are, and that is where they are going. That is what we call service portfolio management. Okay, let's use an application here. Let's apply this in a food truck business. Food truck is food delivery platform, food and grocery delivery platform. Let's look at the kind of service portfolio management we can create for food truck, looking at their IT need. If we are looking at pipeline, what will food truck need in future based on the kind of services they offer to the society? The pipeline, we can say, introducing a predictive grocery recommendation using AI. Because everybody can see that AI is the future of IT these days. So we can't jump into AI. We can put it in our pipeline, in our roadmap as something. So once we come into roadmap, we continue to refine it. The stakeholders need to be having various series of meetings, looking at it, brainstorming. Do we really need it? That's what we call pipeline. Then catalog. What are the current IT need for food truck to serve to their customers effectively? What do they need? That is, offer services like same-day delivery. You know that what we are doing is food, is same-day delivery. Not just same-day delivery, but a minute when somebody orders for food, within minutes, the food should be delivered. Within somebody else order something like grocery, something like bread, within the same day it should be delivered. So this is the catalog. So the kind of IT we need will give us something like same-day delivery and subscription plan. Retired services, discontinuing underperforming delivery area based on analytics. So these are the kind of services we need, the kind of infrastructure that will support this kind of services. So in our platform, we will make sure that our platform, our e-commerce have the capacity for same-day delivery. Both our delivery services and e-commerce and vendors need to be integrated in such a way that Food Tracker should be able to deliver immediately the order is made. If somebody cannot place order food for lunch and is delivered the following day, it's not a good service. We need IT infrastructure that will help us. So that is what we call service portfolio. Looking at this, you have to then think, what do we need? So you can say that IT service management with this have the capacity to decide what a company needs IT-wise. Not company telling them this is what we need or for you to start coming to. In most cases, why so many companies fail is that they provide IT services before implementing or before setting up the ITSM unit. So the ITSM unit will come and start managing what they are running already. Most of the time, what they are running is not good enough to support their business. And that is where the retirement will start coming in. It's not easy to start retiring. You start retiring a lot of underperforming because you didn't plan for it. So that is how service portfolio management works. That's how we can use service portfolio to design a strategy for any company, not only Food Tracker. Okay, number 2, demand and capacity management. Demand and capacity management ensures that IT resources can handle current and future demand without over-provisioning or under-provisioning. We need to put the demand and capacity in a scale. Looking at whatever we are doing, we need to scale up. And that will help us while selecting IT infrastructure. Now we are talking about scalability. Meaning that if you select a current service, a current IT infrastructure, you are looking for an IT infrastructure that can run as the business grows. If you are selecting an IT infrastructure that is going to, you are going to change it when the business grows, is not good. It's not good for business. So this is where the capacity, demand and capacity comes in. Demand management, understand and predict customers' need. And capacity management, ensure IT infrastructure support this need. That is it. You need to predict. For instance, in our this food tracker has come a long way. When we started this food tracker, we didn't apply ITSM. So we started with one technology, and over time, we'll find out that that technology cannot give us what we want. That technology doesn't have capacity for the kind of mobile application we need. It can only give us web mobile application, and we doesn't need it. It's not scalable. We need a Flutter mobile application. Flutter mobile application have the capacity to give us good Android mobile app and have the capacity to give us good iOS, that is Apple mobile applications in one code without having to go and start building different code. Because of that, we discontinue the first technology. We started another technology. Over time, we find out that it's not scalable till we get what we have now that is very, very scalable, running in a PHP Laravel backend, which have the capacity to carry any kind of load. You know, so you need to understand what you need. Okay, now, looking at Food Tracker now, we've been operating in Port Harcourt. Now we want to scale up and operate in different states in Nigeria. All these things, as there is demand, it has to be shaking. It's just like an aeroplane or ship carrying overload. All these applications we are seeing, technologies, they need a particular amount of load they need to carry. Even in a building everything have capacity. So that is what you mean here. You determine the capacity and make sure that you provide the kind of IT infrastructure to support that capacity. That is what we mean, demand and capacity. Okay. In Food Tracker, use historical data to predict peak ordering time. Example, weekend, holiday. Scale server capacity during the high traffic period using cloud computing. Like I said, so many of us know, I could remember those days we used to do Jam. When Jam and all these things, they started using application for, at times, you hear that the site has crashed. You know, or those days we used to look for job, like all those Zenith Bank job. Those days they will give you one site to go there and apply. The kind of traffic that will come there, you hear that the site has, you know, crashed because they couldn't take the traffic and everything just go. So that is what we mean by the demand outweighs the capacity. When demand outweighs the capacity, the service will just, the whole infrastructure will collapse. It's like a bridge. Some bridge do not need a lorry or high duty truck. Some bridge is just meant for small vehicles. When big vehicle passes through some bridge, the bridge will collapse. So when you determine the peak period, you scale your server, you know the kind of server. We have different types of server. There are some servers that cannot carry big load. Then offer discounts during off-peak time to balance demand. So this is how you make sure you use the IT strategy to manage the infrastructure you have, making sure that there is always good capacity for your demand at all times. Okay, let's look at another factor we can use during our service strategy. Financial management for IT services. Financial management involves budgeting, accounting, charging for IT services to ensure they are cost effective and deliver return on investment. If you don't have good budget, you are not good in budgeting, or your units, they are not good in budgeting, it's going to be difficult because there will be under allocation of resources. You wouldn't have enough resources to handle high demand. At times you see that you need even more workers within your IT. So you need good, not just only for IT equipment or IT infrastructure, but even the human resources. So under budgeting, allocate fund for IT initiative. Track and monitor spending and recover costs from users. This is optional, but because most of the time you don't need to charge users. For instance, if they are internal users, you don't need to charge them, so it's difficult. And again, for instance, if you are in a business like social media business, where users use the application free, you don't need to charge them immediately. Is when business started flourishing, then you can start introducing marketing. These are so many ways you can make money from something like e-commerce, something like hospital. So many hospitals, if they have IT infrastructure, you don't need to charge users. So that's why we say optional. So the main thing here is try to make sure there is good budgeting for your IT initiative and monitor spending. This one is just purely accounting. And applying it to food truck, allocate fund for server upgrade to handle increased order. These are some of the things you need to, while as a service manager, if you are making a budget, because every company, what you get in your department is based on what you itemize, your need. So it's good to have good budgeting in order to have enough to cater for your IT need. So, like we say here, allocate fund for server upgrade. Over time, we keep on upgrading our server. Some servers are that way that they are scalable. You might not change it, but you can keep on upgrading it, particular server, upgrading. For instance, if your IT is using ERP, and when they are starting, they only need ERP for finance and operations module. And over time, within the ERP, you want to add CRM. Then as you are growing, you want to add another supply chain. As you are growing, so you must make sure that you capture this very well so that when you need to upgrade in any of your IT infrastructure, you are not going to struggle because of funding. So that is why you see, I say that the service manager is a project sponsor. You look for funding for all the projects that will be going on within your unit. So you need to capture this very well during your strategy. Then business relationship management. Business relationship management ensures strong collaboration between IT and business, understanding customers' need and ensuring IT services meet their expectation. A good IT service manager, you don't just sit back. you need information, you need data over the expectations, what the customer, what the users need. What do they need? You know, in our case, we periodically capture data from the environment, from the whole department, for the whole organization. We send out surveys to understand the way they are feeling about our services. And once we continuously keep capturing, understanding their feedback, that will help you to understand their expectation. You know, some be telling you it takes how many days to resolve incidents, which is not good enough for business. So you have to understand the need, the expectation of the service users. So here we talk about customer engagement. Actively understand user feedback. Try to get user feedback. Service review. Regularly assess performance and customer satisfaction. I don't know if any of you have used our FoodTracker mobile application. Pay every delivery in FoodTracker, the customer need to review the delivery man. Not only the delivery man, the vendor, because they need to order food or order grocery. Any food or grocery they order, the vendor need to prepare that food and give the food to the delivery man to go deliver to the customer. And we have a specific time for this to happen. And we have standard for the taste of food or quality of grocery being delivered. So customers have to give feedback. At times, we have a 5-star rating where you rate all the delivery men based on how prompt they deliver and how the quality of food being delivered to you. So this is a way to capture feedback. When there is regular poor feedback on a particular delivery person, we need to, or delivery people within a particular area, we need to review the feedback to understand why there is poor delivery, to understand if there is our delivery radius is too wide for us to narrow it a bit. This is a way we scale our IT operation to make sure that we narrow our delivery radius to make sure that there is more prompt delivery. If we find out that a particular vendor has been receiving poor rating, we need to understand why is their quality, why is the quality this? Is it that their quality of food is not good enough? We need to find out. We can do investigation. We can even visit the vendor. We can even visit the delivery man, because all of them, they are our vendor. They are registered with us. We have their contact. We know them. So that is a building. You must have a situation, a way to capture feedback, to have a relationship with the service users or customers to make sure that you always meet their expectation. So, like I said, FoodTracker implement feedback form. We'll have it for users after delivery to assess delivery quality. We'll have a feedback form where you 5-star rating, put 5-star rating, and then make some comments. And host monthly review with restaurant vendors to address concern and explore collaboration or collaborative opportunities. I've already explained this. Then strategic alignment of IT with business goal. Strategic alignment ensure that IT initiatives directly support business objective, driving value and competitive advantage. IT initiative must sync. It must sync with the organization's strategic objective. It must sync. Everything we do must deliver value. There must be a good return on investment. Every IT, even a single IT asset we procure, we must make sure that it has a good value. And this is where we have a business analyst. Before, we need a thorough cost-benefit analysis from the business analyst, justification for implementing any IT solution, good business case. So we have here key concept, business goal. Foodtraco.com aim to maintain the multi-vendor food and grocery delivery market. IT strategy, develop scalable, user-friendly technology to support the growth. Application to Foodtraco, implement AI-driven delivery routes, routing to maximum cost and delivery time, aligning with the goal of improving customer satisfaction. Well, everything is all about customer satisfaction. All our routine, like I said earlier, everything we do is for customer satisfaction. Develop partnership with local grocery stores to expand service areas. So if we have an expanded vendors or stores closer to the customer, it's going to be easier to serve them better. So these are some of the things we need to capture. So that is IT service strategy. So looking at all these service key points in service strategy, in most of the cases, all these key points, we weave them together, 5 of them together, or select from 5 of them to make sure we have a good strategy in place. So let's these are activities, but I will skip it so that we'll go straight to the step-by-step guide to developing a comprehensive IT service strategy for Foodtraco. I skip this because this is not this is just an activity I capture for us to do work on, discussion, which we can talk about it later. But let's move forward to the main issues. Okay, step-by-step guide to developing a comprehensive IT service strategy document for Foodtraco.com. So the main objective, we have seen key points, key areas, key factors we can leverage on, put together, select from them to help us develop a good IT strategy. But how do we start doing this? We have just seen all this, but if I just leave you people based on all this, you might not know how do you start. So let's look at step-by-step guide so that we can be able, if we are hired today and if you are called upon to develop a service strategy for your company, you should be able to follow a guide and be able to put up a good service delivery document for your organization. Let's look at, starting from number 1, define the scope and objective. The scope: manage IT services for food truck, ensure efficient delivery and alignment with business goal. Number 1, key services: multi-vendor platform management, ordering process, payment integration, and logistics. So these are our key services. We have to determine the scope. That is number 1, determining the scope, where we need to design. So our key services, these are our key services. That is the area, the key scope. We have a multi-vendor platform, number 1, ordering processing and payment integration, payment gateway, and logistics tracking. This is what is setting the technology. This is the technology that is setting us apart. Our multi-vendor platform, where people can come and order processing, payment gateway, and logistics. This is then goal: ensure customer satisfaction, optimize vendor relationship, and scale efficiently. That is our key goals here. So the point here is, how do we get a strategy that will help us through this our service offering achieve this goal, make sure that our customers are happy while performing all these activities in our platform. That is what we need to achieve. We need strong IT infrastructure to support these services and achieve this goal. Objectives: that's the scope and objective. We've decided the scope here. Objective: align IT services within the business goals of becoming the leading multi-vendor food and grocery delivery. Ensure cost-effective IT operation with high availability and scalability, and improve user experience through innovative technology like AI and automation. So we need IT services that can, like I said, help us achieve customer satisfaction. We need technology, innovative technologies. So that is the main scope and objective of IT, the kind of IT we need. So we have a clear blueprint of our need here and our objective, our scope, the area. So we are then, if business analysts here, is very simple for them, they already seen the scope and the business objective, then the IT we need here is a solution. So number 2, identify key components of the strategy. Now we have seen the scope and objective. Then we need to look at the key components we can select. Are we selecting all of them, or are we selecting few of them that can help us achieve this? Service portfolio management. Under service portfolio management, manage the life cycle of all IT services. So it means that within the IT services, we need to manage them. We know what life cycle means. Stages, stage by stage of all our IT operation till we get to the delivery end. Focus on innovation while optimizing existing services. Demand and capacity management. Plan IT resource allocation for peak and off-peak period. Leverage data analytics for demand forecasting. So we make sure we need to plan our IT resources to cover the peak, most especially the peak period. Making sure that within our peak period, we are not struggling within our peak period. We are not having crisis. Our server is not struggling during peak period. Financial management, optimize IT budget and ensure cost recovery through premium services. Everything we do must be, we make sure that we have value for money, not the services. So we have to make sure that every budget we are making, there is a clear return from any investment. We are seeing it that any investment we are presenting before the stakeholders, they are not going to be frowning their face. Because we justify every financial need we are making before the organization in order to scale the IT. Business relationship. Strengthen partnership with vendors, payment gateways, and logistic providers. We must have a good relationship with all our vendors, our payment gateway like Flutterwave, because these are our payment processors. The challenges we had in FoodTrackle before we are now trying to launch back in a full force is that there is a compliance issue, and our payment compliance issue with our CAC. At the end of every year, we need to make sure we submit a return, which we didn't do, and our CAC account went inactive. And once it went inactive, it's done in such a way that some of these payment gateways, if you are not registered, if you say that you're a registered company, your CAC account must be active. So it went inactive and they disconnected us. And we are struggling to process payment because this is the payment processors. So you must have a good relationship with these people, because once they disconnect you, you can't receive payment. You can't. And then we wanted to start receiving cash on delivery. So many of the customers are not comfortable with cash on delivery. They feel more authentic doing business where they feel it's a standard business. So we struggle a bit. And so if we had all this sorted out, payment processors, all these things, there is no way at some point we are going to go out of business. So our IT didn't sync very well at it, because the payment gateway were no longer working at some point. So this is it. So you must have a good relationship with the people, the key partners. Strategic alignment. Use IT to directly support business growth, customer satisfaction, and operation excellence. And this is number 2, trying to identify the components we need. Number 3, gather data and analyze current state. Internal analysis, identify current state resources and services, assess gaps in IT delivery, market analysis, understand customer need, competitor offering, and emerging technologies. And 4, develop the strategy. So you can see how you get to this stage. This is what we are planning to do, to develop a service strategy. And developing a service strategy, we didn't jump in and start writing service strategy. You see a lot of things we need to put into consideration. We have to pass through this in order to come and develop a good service strategy. So define the service vision. There's what we call vision statement. IT service vision statement for FoodTrackO. Create actionable plan for each component like portfolio updates, capacity adjustment, financial strategy. You must create actionable plan and implement and monitor. Assess, assign responsibility to team, define key KPI for monitoring strategy effectively, and establish review schedule for continuous improvement. So you can see here, you need a team. If you are the service manager, you need a team because these are a big work. So, okay, comprehensive. Now we've seen step by step. Let's look at one that is being created after following this comprehensive guide in order to create one. This is comprehensive IT service strategy document for FoodTrackO. Executive summary. FoodTrackO aims to revolutionize the food and grocery delivery industry by offering seamless multi-vendor services. This ITSM service strategy ensures that IT services align with business goals, enhance customer satisfaction, and support sustainable growth. The scope, this is the scope captured here. Manage IT services to support foodtracko.com platform. Include vendor onboarding, order management, payment processing, logistic coordination. Objective: deliver high quality, scalable IT services, optimize cost-effective and operational efficiency, continuously innovate to meet customer and vendor need. So that is the scope and objective. And service portfolio management, like you see, we have pipeline. We captured all these key components. Pipeline, AI-based grocery recommendation. Well, this is what is happening today. If you are using e-commerce application these days, once you made a purchase or order, the system will automatically redeem your purchasing pattern. Based on your purchasing pattern, they will start recommending deals, which you don't even know that they do exist. Various deals. Maybe there are so many vendors that are doing various deals. The AI will be recommending where there is deal based on your need. If they know that you are somebody who is always looking for discounted products, once you log in, it start telling you where there is discount. That's AI grocery recommendation, advanced logistic tracking for real-time updates. You know, the kind of logistics that you will see the driver in real time where they are from your mobile application as a customer. Current service, multi-vendor marketplace, and pay. That is what we have now. We have multi-vendor marketplace and payment gateway. We have Paystack and Flutterwave. And retire service discontinue low demand delivery area. You know, we used to operate in Lagos but we didn't capture Lagos very well. We didn't capture Abuja very well. These are low demand areas, so we discontinued for some time and focused on only on Port Harcourt. So, but we are planning to launch back. So this is the service portfolio management. With this, we plan to whichever environment, whichever area we are operating, we plan to give them the best service. Demand and capacity management, demand forecasting, use historical data to predict high demand period like weekend and holidays. These are where there is most demand. You know, when people are at home, they keep ordering food. A weekend, like, well, me too, me and my family, most weekend, we tend to order special delicacies and holidays where everybody is at home, like public holiday, bank holiday. We like order special Chinese takeaway, Turkish food and things like that. We don't eat everything, not all the time we eating what we cook at home. So, but this kind of thing happen more especially during the weekend. So during this weekend, when they are in, which is the peak high demand period, we make sure that we have good our server is very, very balanced and can take any kind of traffic. So that is demand forecasting, capacity planning, scale cloud server dynamically during this demand peak. Use a load balancing tool to distribute traffic effectively. So all these things happen within the cloud computing. Then financial management, budgeting, allocate funds for infrastructure upgrade and app development. So we always, because what makes your business is you keep on upgrading. Customers, like these days, we have spoiled the customers. Their appetite has become, so we keep on upgrading in order to compete very well. If we don't make enough budget for upgrading and, you know, sorry, you will be compete out of the market. Cost optimization, optimize server usage with cloud-based solutions. Revenue generation, introduce premium features like express delivery for additional revenue. So where we like this express delivery, these are some of the areas Amazon is using it to make a lot of money. Same day delivery. Most of these ladies, you see that others, they don't have patience. Once they see something they like, they want it now, and they go for express delivery. So you take advantage of that and make more money to support the IT. Okay, business relationship, ensure engagement, regular survey to gather user feedback on service quality, which we already have, vendor collaboration, quarterly meeting with vendors to address concern and share updates. We do have regular meeting with our vendors in Port Harcourt, where we have we train them. Any upgrade we have session to train them on how to use it. All of them knows how to use our mobile application to upload do a lot of things. So have good relationship with vendors and strategic alignment, align IT service with business growth objectives by improving gap performance to reduce order completion time, expanding into new region, with scalable IT infrastructure, and that is what we are planning to do. Well, like some of you who are in our current project that knows that what we are doing currently is expansion. We've started Food Traco expansion project outside of Port Harcourt. We want to expand to new environment with a new dedicated IT infrastructure. And then its key performance indicators, service availability. So what we need to, we always need to measure our sources. We need to look out what is the sources. Maintain 99.9 uptime, customer satisfaction, target 90% satisfaction rate, vendor retention, 95 annual retention. We don't want to lose our vendors. Order processing time, reduce average processing time by 20%. So this is the KPI we need. And then implementation plan, phase 1, enhance current services, gap optimization, server upgrade, gather customer and vendor feedback. Phase 2, launch AI grocery recommendation and premium delivery option, expand capacity planning for festive season. 3, monitor KPI and implement continuous improvement. 10, monitoring and review. Monitor a monthly review meeting for assessing KPI performance, quarterly strategy update based on business need and market changes. So, in conclusion, ITSM service strategy for Food Traco ensure a structured and efficient approach to manage IT services, ensuring the business to achieve, enabling the business to achieve its objective while meeting customer and vendor expectation. So this is a service strategy we've designed for Food Traco. With this, in order to achieve this, we need to then understand our services. We need to understand our current services. We need to, that is the main thing. Identifying our services. We have to start, our design have to start from, we need to create a service catalog, because that is where we need to service portfolio management. So we need to understand service catalog. What are we, where are we? Identify our services. What are the services we have before we start looking at the pipeline? At the moment, we do not have any clear vision of what our services, our current services, it's all about. Yes, we stated here, but it's beyond just multi-vendor marketplace. It's beyond this. It's beyond payment gateway integration. It's beyond, we need to have a comprehensive catalog where we identify all these services, item by item, how to manage every of these services within the current service. All this is current service. That is where the design starts. So once we understand this, to make sure all these things are running effectively, this current service, We need to make sure that this current service is running effectively. Like I told you what happened here, we couldn't, because of our payment gateway, we lost relationship with our payment processing partners, that's payment gateways, and that put us out of business. So it's because we didn't have a good service catalog. If we had a good service catalog, we should know some of the requirements, things that need to be done. When issue arises, like incidents within this environment, how do we resolve it? Within this environment, we need to develop service level agreements on how to make sure that all these services are running smoothly. So once we start expanding this is a lot. That is, if before we might not go so far to this, we have to start from where we are. And even this, our current state is going to take time. So we just have to have, like I said, once you have a good capture of your current service, then you can start planning for the future, which is the pipeline. Then you can create 20, oh no, 10 years roadmap. And you see that everything is working smoothly because you have already captured 10-year roadmap, what you are going to do in 10 years in your IT environment. And that's how all these big organizations, you see, you think it's easy, all this Facebook, they are running for years, no, everything smoothly. They have 20, something like Facebook have 20 years road, even 30 years roadmap. They are planning and keep on refining it. Google, they have like 30 years roadmap. Microsoft, they have like 30 years roadmap, which is their pipeline services. And their current services is duly captured. And which services they are no longer used, they have good record of all the services they used in the past. So that is how this, and once this is done, then that is where we start understanding capacity, finance, business relationship, but everything starts from first portfolio. We've decided this is service, but we have to capture portfolio management, service portfolio management. That is where a lot of things need to be happening. Yeah, and that is where we are going to end it for tonight. So we can see we have a service strategy document. So going forward, we are going to be looking at service design. Service design, where it's going to take us some time. And within the service design, you know, I want us to have a wider view of what we are going to design a blueprint, not just a catalog, but from this service strategy, we are going to create a blueprint and a catalog, and then a solution to run our ITSM unit very well. So that's what we are going to do going forward. It's going to be a bit hands-on, but it's not something we cannot do, like I said earlier. So if we have any question, good. I captured various industries as we are going forward, will give us a good view, not only e-commerce application like food vendor, we captured areas like health sector, healthcare sector, transport and logistics, banks, education. And with that, wherever we find ourselves, we should be able to design something for them. Yeah. So it's question time. If you have any question, Then we can take it from here. I hope it's not overwhelming.
Yeah, not really from my side.
Not really. No question from my side. It's okay.
Okay.
The only thing I want to say, sir, under the demand and capacity management, is it every time we be relying on historical data because we in some areas we realize that there are some freelancers that may be at home, maybe during the week, and maybe the historic data is stating weekends. That is when people are likely to be at home. So in that situation, is it appropriate to now adapt to the weekdays by ignoring the historical data, or one will still go ahead and be using it?
Well, demand and supply, for us to have the kind of demand and capacity, well, the way we understand our capacity, or the way we understand demand, is based on what has been happening. Most of the cases, we leverage historical data most of the time. Over the years, like for instance now, let me use Amazon. Amazon have been running for years. And for instance, for the past 10 years, they've been saying that within every period, they know the exact demand. They know the population, they know demand. So if there is going to be changes, they are going to, if anything change, they will try to find out where. So they always know what they are expecting, and that will help them to make provision for that demand, making sure that the system have the capacity to handle every demand. So that's why we leverage on historical data when we're trying to understand this. That's why you cannot say today, all of a sudden, the price of people with if the price is if the demand are going to skyrocket, you always know if something happened, something special, you even ask yourself a question: how come? So historical data has been a very powerful way of understanding the way to plan for our current operation and the future operation. That's why even our project we leave lesson learned. These are historical data. It's very, very important. So
Okay, sir. I was actually looking at if one can be flexible in that area if you want to try to leverage on the historical data, and you see that you have tried it during the operation, and there's a little bit of low demand, then you now switch to weekdays and look at how you can work with that. Maybe if there will be high demand during the weekdays.
if there is, why, let me tell you. Okay, historical data here. I use this as an example.
Here are some resources for historical data. General historical.
So, looking at this historical data here, based on history, our platform is food delivery system. And food delivery is when people stay at home. They order food from restaurants. This happen, people tend to order more when they're at home, when they are relaxing. It could be different. Like we say, example, so it might not be weekend. It's based on what we wanted to use this as an example. A historical data might be in a particular place. For instance, let me use somewhere like Victoria, Ireland. I worked in Victoria, Ireland. Most companies, most operations in Victoria, Ireland is being driven by business people. People order food. Most people living there, most people within their activities during the days. During weekend, in that environment, is always dry. Nobody, you don't see. If there's food delivery system within that environment, weekend, they might not be selling much. You see, historical data will be. But in areas like, let me say, in Lagos, Ogudu GRA, I lived there as well. We have a lot of big people living there, big men living in Ogudu GRA in Lagos. And most of these people are that are working in Victoria, Ireland during the day. So weekend, they will be at home. A lot of parties will be going on. They will be ordering a lot of food, a lot of things. So this is historical data. It depends on region we are talking about. But what you remind you that what we say here is example. But it's good to use historical data to predict. Are you getting me?
Okay. Yes, I really got it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. And we Julie Ochoa, how are you? I can see you joining. I think your network has been throwing you out and you are joining back.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm having network hitches here.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll try to be very prompt with the recorded video so that whichever thing you missed, you can catch up before the next classes. I'm not, we don't have any backlog again in terms of in all my classes, not even here. So try to catch up. So we'll try to maintain that pace.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So thank you. I have to leave here for my next class.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.